What is going on, everybody? It is the boss with another video for you guys today. Today, guys, I figured I would do another game review. It has been some time since we've done them on the channel with other content that I've done, mostly interview videos lately. There will be more of those, but don't worry, I will be doing more regular channel content, such as like the reviews, the vlogs, the Dumois video, you know, that kind of thing. But regardless, guys, for today, I figured we would review a game that I've actually picked up and played a lot more recently, also known as Batman Arkham Asylum. You guys can probably tell by the title of this video. I actually played this game some time ago, a couple months back, but I kind of forgot about it until recently when I got Batman Arkham City, which is the second game out of the 4 games in the Arkham franchise. I want to get the other games, but I started playing Arkham Asylum again. Really cool game. I actually really am enjoying it. I don't know why I took a break from it, and probably because I just got bored of it or something. Regardless of though, guys, today I figured we would do a review on this game, so without any further ado, guys, let's get into the review. So I guess to start off my thought on the game, I suppose we'll start by breaking down the story of Batman Arkham Asylum. By the way, spoilers if you guys haven't played the game or if you really care about that kind of thing. So basically the story premise of the game is Batman goes into the asylum. He's taken Joker there, which he captured in front of City Hall. I won't go into all the story details because there is a lot of stuff that goes on, but the basic premise is Joker takes over the asylum. Batman has to stop it from using this formula known as Titan formula to mutate a bunch of his lackeys or other people on the island to basically invade and destroy Gotham City. And the whole thing ends up with this big battle between Batman and a Titan-induced Joker. So that's basically the premise of the game. There's a lot of story details in there. There's a lot of different characters from the Batman universe, from DC in general. And there's a lot of stuff that if I would talk about every single little thing that happened, we'd be here all day. So that's basically the general summarization of the story. As far as the story goes, I got no issues with it. It's a very incredibly detailed story. There's a lot of different locations that you go to on the island. You know, there's different, like, Arkham North, West, East, South. There's a lot of different locations. There's a lot of different really cool stuff that you do with the story. You meet a lot of cool characters, such as Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Joker, Batman himself. It's just a really cool interaction with all the characters, and the story, I think, is pretty dang good. It's pretty solid, and it doesn't really drag on. It doesn't even really, you know, it's not one of those stories where it's flawed in a lot of senses, where it just gets boring and repetitive. It's unique, and I'm not just saying that because it's a superhero-esque story from, like, Batman. Rather, it's just a story that fits well with the game. So, I have no real issues with the story. We're incredibly detailed, a lot of really cool characters, and, yeah, I enjoy the story. As far as my thoughts on the the gameplay goes, and everything that you do in the game, the whole premise of the game is Batman has... You basically go around the island, complete these different objectives and whatnot, and all this different story stuff to stop Joker, essentially. They got a lot of really cool stuff that you can do in the game. Batman has a wide assortment of gadgets that you can use, not just for the story stuff, but for a lot of side stuff. You can go exploring around the island, you can go exploring around the different locations that you go to. He obviously has his trusty batarangs. Let me see here. He has the, I forget what you call it, but it's like the rope that you can shoot out, stick to a wall. You can go across giant gaps to find collectibles and whatnot. Obviously, you got your, you know, your explosive gel, which, you know, he paints in the shape of a bat, and you can blow it up, and, you know, but with walls to complete objectives and, again, find collectibles and whatnot. Let's see, what else does he have in terms of gadgets? He has his little cryptographic thing that you can use to hack different control boxes and whatnot, you know, because you're going to have to do that a lot in the game. There's also an upgrade system that you can use, not just for the gadgets that Batman gets throughout the game, but like for the batarangs, for example, those are optional upgrades that you can get, where you can upgrade, dual batarangs that you can use, not just, again, in story stuff, but all these gadgets can be used in side stuff for getting collectibles, which we'll talk about in a second. But that's a really cool system. I love the upgrade system. You can upgrade your combos, your armor, you can upload the gadgets, obviously. There's a lot of situational stuff that you can upgrade as well, such as there are different parts of the game where you have minions of Jokers that you have to go around and gargoyles on. There's a power-up where you can not only attack them, but you can string them up underneath the gargoyle. It's just really cool stuff, so I love the upgrade system, and the combat's pretty good too while we're talking about the gameplay. I should be talking about this with the controls, but the combat's pretty good, nice, really fluid for the gameplay. For when it was made back, I think in like 2010, somewhere in that era, pretty dang good, especially on the Xbox 360. So no complaints over in the gameplay department with, you know, the combat system and whatnot. And of course, the graphics are beautiful in the game. I really like it. Like, they're not advanced graphics like what you'd expect nowadays, like 4K graphics, but they're really cool, they're really detailed, and it's really true to the comics, the character designs, the gadgets Batman carries, the different stuff that you do. It's like an original story, and that's what I love about this game too. It's just original, especially in the DC Batman sense. So the graphics and the gameplay are pretty dang good. I have, again, no complaints in that department. That's pretty good. There is one thing that I kind of have a problem with the game, but I'll talk about that in the next section, which is the controls. Now, the controls of the game, overall, they're pretty good. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do in the game. The jumping animations, the combat animations, like I mentioned earlier, the slide animations that you have, like across different ropes, where you have to jump across gaps, where you have to climb up buildings, where you have to do all these like different running sections. Those, I feel, are pretty good, especially they're Batman-esque, which is, again, originality in the sense that the controls is really good. Now, there is something that I mentioned that I didn't like too much, and it's just the controls in general. It's not a specific, combat or like a technique you have to do with Batman or anything like that in the game. It's nothing specific. Rather, it's just like the controls in general for everything for Batman. The controls at times can get a little clunky and a little, I don't want to say rough, but slow. Yeah, those would be the right words to use. Just because Batman, he controls overall for the most part fine. The problem with him is, though, sometimes he gets really slow, he can get stuck on objects really fast. He has difficulty moving in some areas sometimes. Like, for example, in one instance, well, there's some instances where you go to jump or you climb up on a platform. Instead, Batman is going to do his dodge, I guess you could call it a dodge roll, instead of the control that you pressed. So the controls can be a little clunky, a little slow, and sometimes a little bit unresponsive in certain areas. Especially, it's terrible when you're in certain situations where you have to beat a bunch of enemies, and there's either a ton of them, or there's like electricity coming out of the floor, something's being lodged at you from a distance, and then the controls decide to go all wonky, and you get hit and you might die. So situations like that can get pretty annoying, I will say, but overall the controls are fine. They're pretty good, they're pretty fluid, just there are times and instances where they mess up, and some parts of them aren't exactly the best. However, guys, that has been my thoughts on the game, with the taking in the story and the gameplay, the graphics, the controls in general, taking all the elements of the game. I think it's a pretty good game. I think it's worth your time, it's worth your purchase if you guys are, into DC, you're into Batman, or you just want to give the game a try for yourself. It's for the Xbox 360, at least the version I play. Of course, it's an older game, so you could go out there, you could find it on probably some other console if you want, or for a really cheap price. So if you're interested in the game, I recommend picking it up. If I had to give an overall number rating on the game, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good game, no real complaints about it except for some of the controls. That's why it's not getting like a perfect score. But I'm pretty solid giving it a 9. But other than that, though, guys, this has been it for today's review video. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on Batman Arkham Asylum, or any other games you want me to review for the future, or just your thoughts on the video in general. And, yeah, if you guys did enjoy as well, make sure to give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new with that bell notification on to catch my future videos and live streams if you wish to do so. And, of course, like I said, comment below your thoughts and feelings. With all that in mind, though, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.